Hey y'all, it's Brianna Régine. If you are watching this episode of the Brand Unveiled podcast on YouTube, it is only going to be audio because my hair looked crazy. The lace was not lacing, it was exposed, and that's just the truth, Ruth. So, nevertheless, that is why this episode you do not see my lovely facial expressions, but the message still stays the same. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for listening and enjoy the episode. Hey y'all, welcome back to the Brand Unveiled. I am your girl, Brianna Régine Walston, and I am an entrepreneur, a brand growth strategist, and the founder and CEO of Brianna Régine Visionary Consulting. I feel like letting go is a concept that is often talked about and recommended, but the actual act and examples of what that looks like can be hard to envision, especially if, for me anyway, the concept of letting go seems like this big ordeal thing when truthfully sometimes it just starts with little moments. Prime examples. I am a 28-year-old entrepreneur and successful business owner, but your girl still lives at home. I live at home. The budget ain't humongous, okay? But I am not going to cripple myself any longer from doing an idea such as this that's been in my mind for nearly 3 years, and I've been holding on to it because I'm thinking, I have to have, the best aesthetically pleasing background, and I have to, make it look a certain way. And no, girl, I'm in my bedroom. I have been in this bedroom for the past a little about 20 years now, right? But your girl I just redid my feng shui, Maybe I'll do like a little MTV Cribs. I'm not going to do that on this podcast. And if you're watching, I'm looking around at like my feng shui. I'm not going to do that. But all jokes aside, like you have to just go for it. Honestly, letting go also, I'm a very spiritual person, so letting go is getting out of my own head and listening to God. I cannot tell you how many times God has told me in my gut, open your mouth. Just open your mouth, get on the mic, and talk. That has been something that has weighed pretty significantly over the past 2 years for sure. But even prior to that, I always got signs from people telling me after panel discussions or even mentorships sessions that I've had with my mentees or workshops that I facilitated. Like, you're so good at talking to people and getting them to open up, and you're just really good at conversations. I've always been told that. I've been asked before, like, have you ever thought about having your own talk show? And I'm like, I don't know. But clearly, these are signs that people do like what I have to say, and I need to obey and listen to the signs. Like, why continue to move away from a gift that clearly I've gotten positive feedback on, and also, more importantly, feedback or not, just the gut feeling of, Brianna, you need to do what you've been truthfully wanting to do, and you need to do it now. So I am taking small steps and letting go of getting inside of my head and preventing myself from being creative, from creating content ideas that I have, from doing things because I want them to look a certain way, and letting go of that perfectionism. Perfectionism is something that personally I don't consider it a bad thing, but it can be crippling, and it can get ahead of what really matters, which is progress, and more importantly, falling in love with your process. And that's something that I have told my mentees specifically, but even my friends that are closest to me. But we're human, right? So sometimes you'll give advice, but you don't always take it, or you don't always follow it consistently. But by doing this podcast, relaunching it, and doing it in a way where like I am intentional about it, and there's some level of strategy within my intentionality that I'm following, I still haven't planned it out as much as I have planned, for example, like a client campaign, right? Like I don't have a list of episodes of things that I'm gonna talk about. Like I honestly was like, you need to do this thing unless you're never going to do it at all. Shout out to Mariah Carey. I'm gonna do the best I can with what I got. Like that's literally where I am right now. And also just that repetitive sign and feeling from God where it's like, if you don't do this thing, I don't know what to tell you, because I've been waiting and you haven't been delivering. So here I am, delivering in order to be delivered. Won't he do it, Shondo? So in your life, I want you, or not even in your journey as an entrepreneur or a decision maker, I want you to remember that letting go doesn't have to look like these grandiose accomplishments. Sometimes it's just taking those steps in embracing your process, in knowing and telling yourself affirmations that you're gonna land on your feet and things are gonna be okay because you are embracing your process, and in that you are still doing the work. It looks like using your resources and working with what you have and just going for it. Even if it's scary or there's an element of hesitation there, like actually doing the thing. You will not know until you try, and until you try your very best. And trying your very best doesn't always mean, oh, I'm gonna go out and I gotta invest in the biggest tool in order to make XYZ happen. No, do what you can with what you have. And as long as you are using your best resources that are accessible to you at the time, child, go for it. So don't be afraid to let go, especially in this new year. I also know imposter syndrome is a huge thing. Again, when you're all up in your head and you're telling yourself, oh, I'm not ready for this, I'm not ready for that, you're never going to be as ready as you think you should be, but you're always going to be ready because God put you there. That is a word. What? Shit me, that is a word, but it's so true. It's so true. So please, this year, let go and let God. If you don't believe in God, whomever it is that you do believe in, let go and let the universe do what it's going to do for you. But you gotta trust it. You really gotta lean into it. You cannot continue to ignore that gut feeling, that Godfidence, as Jeannie Mai said. I'm on The Real. I'm such an avid watcher of The Real when it was on. I love The Real. But yeah, you can't ignore that Godfidence. You can't ignore that feeling, that excitement behind the creativity that keeps you up at night, or that innovation that, makes you so excited. You can't. Because the more that you do that, the more you're going to wonder what if. And I feel every time you wonder what if and time continues to pass on by, it leaves more room to let fear creep in. We rebuke fear. We're not doing fear. By doing this podcast and putting myself out there, there are probably going to be people who are like, ooh, what is she doing? Why is she doing that? She's a business owner. Does she really want to be portrayed in that way? People are going to probably have so much stuff to say. But I know who I am. I know that I am a great CEO and I'm only going to continue to improve. I know that I do great business. I know who I am, and I know that I'm a good person. I know that me showing up how I am, Sophista Ratchet, I know that showing up in that way is going to resonate with someone else. It's going to let other women, particularly Black women, know that you can still be your personable, bubbly, spicy self, but still get shit done when it's time to do business and still be respected for it. You don't have to be so stuffy and whatever your perception to be taken seriously is. And I'm aware that there's a time and place for everything. So I'm not saying oh my God, I am this personable in every room that I walk into. And I'm not saying that, but I'm also not a different person when I walk into rooms where I am right now in this space. And it took me time to get here. It took me not only time as an entrepreneur, but it took me time also through therapy and my personal journey too. But letting go of whatever people may think, that's where I am right now. So you either want to work with me or you don't. That's where I am. And so far it has paid off. I'm really proud of where I am right now in my journey as an entrepreneur. And I'm looking forward to where else, things are going to take me. And I hope the same for you. Seriously. The moment you let go, you get excited. Like, it's sort of like this exhilarating feeling, and that's what I feel right now, sitting in front of this camera with this microphone on top of my sister's birthday present that I didn't give to her yet, but this is a nice box. This is a nice boulder. This is a very nice boulder, and my hamper's underneath it. Like, you can't see it for those of you who are watching this on YouTube, but it's here. But how else would you know? You wouldn't know, because I'm working with the best that I have. And I'm, more importantly, doing the thing that I've been dying to do, and I'm letting go. And whatever happens, happens. And I just hope that by doing this podcast and coming on here and delivering these messages, that folks feel inspired and empowered, and they tap into their own confidence, and they use their voice. And don't be afraid to amplify the voices of others, because they matter too. I'm your girl, Brianna Régine. The episodes will drop every Monday, audio version, and every Tuesday, video version. So, yeah, I will see you guys next week. Bye.